viewers, welcome you to my YouTube channel, Ricky Stitches. Today I'm going to illustrate on how to make a free dress with flutter sleeve as you've seen on the thumbnail. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And don't fail to follow us on Facebook, Ricky Stitches, Instagram, Ricky Stitches. So these are the measurements required: the full length, the half length, the bust, the shape, shoulder, hips and hips line. Since it's a free dress, we won't really consider these two. Okay, so we're going to set to work right away. Like I said, it's a free dress with a flutter sleeve. Now I'm using 3 yards of Ankara, and as you've seen, the one on the thumbnail has a contrast fabric that can be used for the sleeve, but I don't have that right now. But I'm going to illustrate, show you just the illustration of how to achieve that. So these 3 yards of fabric, first I'm going to start by cutting, showing you how to cut the upper part from the shoulder to where we have the line before you have the gather starting, the free part starting. From that, we'll take from shoulder to nipple point. You can decide to take it to under bust, it's your choice, but this one I'm going to stop at the nipple point, from shoulder to nipple point, then the free this thing. So I'm setting to work right away. These 3 yards of Ankara, I'll start by folding it. So if you've seen, this has a border both up and down. It's your choice to decide on which to use, if you're using this for the upper side or this for the down part. But in this case, I'm going to use this for the upper side while I use this for the down side. I'll first of all fold this into 2. I'm taking the front first before the back. Fold this into 2, and don't forget I'm folding it according to the bust measurement. So I'll check the bust measurement here is 30. The bust measurement here is 38. So I'll fold it according to the 38, then I'll insert 2 inches allowance. So this already is very big. This 38 9/2. This already is too big. So what I'm going to do, I'll adjust the fabric so that it can accommodate the 38. This is 38, and we have like 2/2 inches. Okay, I'll maintain this 2/2. So I will now place my tape to start the measurement. First of all, the shoulder, which is 15. Please, when you're cutting, you exempt this. So I'm drawing my line to exempt this already. The right up, you cut it out to show it's not included. So I'm mark my shoulder. Shoulder here is 15 divided by 2. We have 7/2. Then I'll add 1 inch for extension. Then the bust is 38. I'll take this thing armhole, which is what, 8. I draw it out, then use your cuff to connect it. This is for the front. Okay, then don't forget to slope it by 1 inch. Okay, now you have that. So I'm going to mark where we want it to stop. That's from the shoulder to the nipple point, which is what, from the shoulder to the nipple point here. So it was not included here, but according to my clients, what we took the measurement from the distinct previous clothes we'll be making for her, it was 10 from shoulder to her nipple point here, 10. So I'm going to use 10/2 for the joining. The half is for the joining, maybe seam allowance, what I call. joining allowance, so I'll take 10/2, 10/2. You can use your ruler to draw this out. 10/2. Then on this line, don't forget this was where we have our nipple, so I'm going to still mark out the bust here on the armhole line, but you can still mark here. Now the bust measurement here is 38, which is what, 9/2. 38 divided by 4, we have 9/2, and I'm inserting 2/2 like the seam allowance. So this is what I've got there. Now the neck there is just round neck. I'll just take here 4 inches for the neck depth. For the neck width also I use 4 inches. Now round it, round it. You can still use your cuff to do this. So that's what we have for that upper body, for only the front part. So now cut it out. As for the front, I'm going to use this to place to bring out the back too. Then you place this. Please keep the zipper allowance behind, or buttonhole allowance, anyhow you want it. If you're opening a hole for button, then if you're putting a short zipper, I will advise you keep your zipper allowance. This is how it's going to be. As with my zipper allowance of 1/2 inch, since I'm turning this upper side with lining, 1/2 inch. Then the difference between the back piece and the front is just the neckline. I'm going to still take the same 10 I took in the other side, 10/2, sorry, for the front. The only thing, you insert the zipper allowance, and what you do next is to create a new neckline. It's not going to be as deep as this, so I'll take the neckline now. Here is the zipper allowance. Now the neckline here, the neck depth, I'm still maintaining 4, sorry, the neck width. Now the depth, I'll just use 1/2. I'll connect it. Going to open this up. That's where our zipper is passing. You can use a short iron zipper so the person can have access to wear it freely. This is how it's going to be for that upper side, like you've seen on the thumbnail. We're done with this. Don't forget there is no zip here, and don't forget it's 10 inches to use for that. So to complete the length that we have 42 here, we're going to say 42 here minus 10 for the down bodies. That's where we're going now. 42 minus 10, we have what? We have 32 for the length. So I'm going to adjust this to mark out the 32. It's almost like 34. So I'm not going to cut anything out here. I'll bend it or turn it. This is our 32. Then on bending we have 32. So I'll allow 2 inches for the allowance. So the down part here, since I want it to be very free, I'm still going to use this same 3 yards that we had already. So I'm going to fold it completely. That is 1.5 for the front, but it depends on how bogus you want it to be. You can decide to use 1 and a half, 1 yard for the front and 1 yard for the back. But this is actually for a pregnant woman, so I'm going to use 1.5 inches to create this. I'm sorry, I was supposed to make this first before cutting the upper body, so I'm going to refold it again to bring out that. Okay. Make sure they're all equal. Okay. I'm going to cut it out now. Cutting this out. And use your machine to form the girders. If you don't want to use girders, you can as well. You tap the center. I folded it into 4 now to bring out the down part. Now this is the center. I've tapped it already. So what you're going to do is that you can decide to gather it, like I've said. If you don't want girders, you can also decide to do what? Pleat it. Create some little pleats. So since I have tapped center already here in front, to ease my sewing, I'm going to cut these 2 out, separate them into 4, like what you've seen now. When I mean separating them into 4, like what I've done for the upper side, so that it will ease our sewing. So I'm going to cut here out. Okay, now you now have 1 for the other side of the back. After run your girders, attach 1 to one side, and run your girders attach. While here, this elaborate one belongs to the front. We gather it. You can also decide to pleat it. You can pleat it at the range of 1 inch. It's your choice on how free you want it to be. So this is what you use to create the down part. We all know how to use girders. So you use your machine, drop this thing, the handle to the down number, the last number, then you use it to run your girders on the fabric. So I've tapped my center, so I'm attaching this to the front, the big part to the front after running girders. Please don't fail also to tap your center here, so you will know what to do when you're joining them. Tap your center here. So I attach this to this. after running the gathers, it will be smaller to accommodate the front bodies. And I'll attach this to this. So I'm folding it. You attach this to this, while you also do same to the back part and attach it to each of them separately too. Now for the flutter sleeve, we're done for the up and the down. Now we are talking about the sleeve. For the flutter sleeve here, you're going to allow it this way. Turn it to the back. Let's assume, like I said, I'm using a contrast fabric, but if you're still using the fabric, I think this would be enough. For the two sleeves, you just adjust them to equal part, then trim this part out. And one can say for the front and for one part or the other, but don't fail to use a facing or maybe a lining to turn it so that you can have a little thickness. Then you attach your, before turning, you iron your gum stay on it or your cloth gum to make it thick so it would stand. And you place it into 4. So you're going to do is create an angle this way. You can take it, since you want to pleat it, you can take it to this point, not here. You can maintain this point. See the way I'm taking it. Measure depending on the measurement, and use 5, 6, it's your choice. And this is 5 or 5/2. And I notice here will be too big if I maintain this, so I will take it back from the 10 maybe to 9. I'll take it this way, 5 down here, then 9 here. I'm going to cut it out now. After turning it, you open it, see how it will look. You now pleat them so that you won't have same, but before you pleat, you tap center, but it's always necessary so you will know how to attach it. If you notice the sleeve is too big, you can still adjust it to make it a little bit smaller than mine. Then you pleat it maybe by 1 inches. Do that by putting your pin with it. As you're pleating, you put pin. You're pleating, you put pin. That's when you already iron your gums. You've already ironed your gum stay and turn it with lining, and you pleat it this way before attaching it to the sleeve. So you use your pin to suspend the pleats. As you're doing it, please, I'm doing a rough illustration here, so you can just practice this and you still have the same result. Make sure they're of same sizes. Yeah, those are the pins are good. Okay, inflate them. Like I said, if it is too big, you can reduce it and make it smaller than. What you've seen there. Already the length is very small. You join your shoulder and everything before then you check from the nipple points here, from where we have the shoulder to nipple point. Now this is what I mean. You have to join the shoulder first, turning everything. You use your lining to turn. This is the zipper allowance, this is the front. Then what you're going to do to get this sleeve, the length of the sleeve, you're going to place your tape from here. Then you take it down, you turn it back to where you have here. Like you've seen, this is 18 inches. So you're going to, when you're cutting this, you're going to take it according to 18. You can put an extension to take it up to 19 or 20. Year and year supposed to be like this one is very, very small. That's why I told you I'm going to use a contrast fabric like what you've seen on the thumbnail, like maybe plain green or something that will meet up with this to create mine. But I'm just using this like an illustration. So since we are going to still pleat it again like what you've seen there, the 18 times 2, we have what, 36. So your length of your fabric that you're going to use is going to be 36. You apply your gum stay on it, a stay, then you use your lining to turn, then you pleat it this way, then sew it like this from here to the back part to the down part here. Then you have this kind of effect. So I'm using the back side to show you this. This is the front. So this is what you have, like what you've seen there. This is what you have before you now attach these gathers here that was here and the back side. So this is how it will be. You take it till you have it to the back. So this is how it will be. I'm just using pins to suspend it now to just show you. This is how it will look like what you've seen on the thumbnail. But you make sure your pleats are of same, because don't forget you turn this part. So that's how it will look like before you now attach your gathers here, or maybe your pleats, depending on your choice, before you now close the sides. So that's all we have for the video for today on how to make a free dress or gathered free dress with flutter sleeve. Thank you very much. Hope you learned something.